Okay, tell me about what you consider to be your first real job.
Okay, my first real job would have been in a delicatessen in Comrie called the Comrie Chef. I waited tables. I was 14. I also was a kitchen assistant. I prepared food, salads, baked potatoes, toasties, warm drinks, cold drinks, and I served in the delicatessen shop.
Okay, can you remember what they paid you?
At that time I was getting £1.50 an hour plus tips.
What were the tips like?
Tips were really good in the summer. There was an older lady that worked with me and she didn't really divide them up very fairly. But yeah, it was fine.
It was alright.
Yeah.
And did your money go up when did you work on after being 14 there?
Yeah, I worked there till I was about 17 or 18.
Did your money go up at all? Yeah.
Yes, I think it went up to about sort of £2.20 to 50, something like that.
Right.
In the end.
Now I know that background in catering and in food prep and serving customers, all the kind of skills that you pick up are very important. That meant that you were able to head off and chase the sun. Do you want to tell me about that?
I worked briefly in Mallorca, well, for about 5 months. I got a job in a cocktail bar there, so I was making cocktails. I had to work every single night of the season.
7 nights a week?
Yes. I didn't get a night off at all. I worked from 8 till 2 in the morning.
8 till 2? Was there much, did 2 finish here? Was there clearing up? Was there bottles to clean?
No, I think we closed the bar about sort of 1:15, something like that, and then there was clearing up to do, which wasn't always a pleasant experience, because I was the sort of English girl there, and the bar was owned by a Spaniard, and his brother and friend worked there. These 2 boys gave me all the horrible jobs to do, so I would have to clean out freezers with, spilt drinks in them and disgusting sort of gunge in them. And there were some, horrible moments. There were quite a few cockroaches as well that would be flying into the bar, and you'd see them on the walls. And
I think there'll be people watching this don't even realise cockroaches can fly.
yeah, they're really scary. They're horrible. I'm frightened of insects, so that wasn't good. But apart from that, it was nice.
So what stage were you up? You're going to bed after sometime after 2. Did you go on and party out? Did you party then, or did
Not
you go
really.
to bed?
No. I was pretty tired by then. I had a boyfriend. We'd probably just go back to the flat we stayed in, and yeah, I also had to subsidise my living there with another day job there. So I was working night and day. The day job was not too bad. It was actually giving out flyers on the beach. So I got a job initially with a sort of fish and chip restaurant, giving out flyers. I got £10 a week, and it was an hour's work to give out maybe 200-300 flyers. So I'd walk along the beach giving flyers out.
Did you have to do that every day for your £10?
No, just once a week.
Once a week you did it?
For an hour.
And did they approach you?
No, I got to know them because I visited their premises a few times, and then they asked if I wanted to do some promotional work. After getting that job, I also decided, it could be a lucrative business, so I approached a bar and a nightclub and asked if they wanted any work doing the same sort of thing. So I got work from both of these places at the same rate, so I was actually doing an hour's work and getting £30 just as a one-off each week, but it was something extra.
What sort of money were you getting working in the cocktail bar?
It was awful. I was getting £1.50 an hour. And the tips weren't being evenly divided. The 2 boys were pocketing a lot of tips, so it wasn't fair. There were customers that used to slip me tips secretly because they knew what was going on, but yeah, it wasn't even.
What was the clientele like? Is it young crazy holiday makers? Was it families?
Mainly older people, to be honest. Puerto Prienza is kind of a quiet part of Mallorca, a very wealthy part of Mallorca, and there was a manager of the Bank of Scotland in Edinburgh. There was older people, to be honest, and couples, not really many young single people.
So how much actual time did you get on the beach to work in your tan?
Well, it gets so hot there, and by the time you get up about maybe 10-11 o'clock in the morning, have some breakfast, wander down to the beach. I was also trying to take my sketchbook out drawing. I was frequently getting burned because you can sit and forget how long you're in the sun.
You've been out in the sun.
Yeah, I didn't stay too long in the sun.
Okay. I'm going to ask you about, you're talking about, are you aware that in this country, in Scotland, there's a minimum wage?
I'm aware. I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. I think it's around about £6, isn't that right?
Yeah, well, an adult over 21, that is close. Now, if we could go back in time and you could talk to your young self, what single piece of advice, or what advice would you give yourself?
Well, I think when you're young you can have a lot of fun, especially if you're a creative person. You tend to attract maybe unusual people, or you know, creative, outgoing people. This sounds very materialistic, but if you want any advice from me, if you're a girl and you're out there and you're a good-looking girl, hang out around the university where the dentists are. Find yourself a rich man, a dentist. If you're hanging out in Perth College, head for the joinery department. Or failing that, if you want to take a risk, hang around the musicians, and they might be famous one day. And because you've got your life ahead of you. Yes, have fun when you're young, but you've also got to think of the longer term and find somebody who's going to, give you a good life and support you if you have children, or get you a nice house and whatnot. So that's my advice to you. So good luck.
Okay, thank you.